Aaron Colvin, how much has he benefited from this offseason, being able to train and be?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Obviously, last year I think he didn't start practice until after the open date, and he missed all the OTAs in the phase 1 and phase 2. So any of the physical activities. So this has been a big plus, and he's out there competing, doing an excellent job, and it's fun to see him out there playing with confidence.
When he put the pads on, would you feel, are you going to work him a little bit outside too?
Yeah. He's working outside and inside. So, we want to make sure that we put our players in position to be successful. Gene, everything okay?
I'm sure it's urgent.
We want to make sure that we put our players in position to be successful. So we're going to make sure that we try guys wherever we need to. Yeah.
Can you talk about your linebacker depth?
Well, you know what? We got some young guys, and on the 2s and the 3s, so those guys are going to have to continue to grow. I think Leroy, working with the 2s, I think he's really showed up in this offseason, and it's his 3rd season. I think he's matured, and he's been communicating out there, and he's the guy that's been the leader with the 2s. Kyrie Fart is doing a good job, and Jeremiah, George is doing a good job also. But some of those rookies. Armbrister from Miami, he's done good, but there's a long way to go, and we got to get the pads on. So, that's challenging right now. There just hadn't been many guys in the 2s and 3s that have played much.
George seemed to be doing pretty well in the limited time that he got before the injury last year. Have you seen any carryover?
We really, I think there's some carryover, but, he kind of got thrown in there, and we didn't get to see a whole lot of him. Now he's been exposed to a lot of different things, so there's just a lot of growing that he needs as far as within the system. But he did an excellent job, you're correct, last year, and, we think that, he provides some instincts and some speed and some punch.
Ryan Davis has kind of developed into from when he first got here. Sort of didn't have a spot for him.
Yeah, right? We didn't have a spot for him, and Ryan has developed. He's created his own niche within the defense. Inside rusher on 3rd down, but at the same time, we feel comfortable him playing the Leo position. And he did that at the end of the season and played when Branch was hurt. He got a lot of reps at the Leo position. So, he's a great young man as far as work ethic, character, all those type things. So anytime a guy like that succeeds, you feel really good about that.
How is he able to be so effective despite being?
I think sometimes just guys have instincts in there and they understand, and this is not a knock against guards, but you get in there, it's a little tighter quarters, and if you got some quick movement, you could get by him a little quicker. The tackles kick out a little bit deeper. So I think that he just has some natural instincts in there that really helps him. And plus, I think Coach Wash has done a great job with our blitzes of putting him in position to be successful on 3rd down. He's looked good. He's really worked hard in the offseason. These guys, a lot of them, he and Demetrius and Jeremy Harris, they're on their 3rd year, and they've done a good job. They come out, they're competing, and with Devon House and Tommy Campbell, and we talked about Aaron Colvin. Man, there's a lot of competition going on at that position, and obviously competition does nothing but help you, and I think it's helped those guys grow. Gratz I think he was 202, but his body fat was really he came in really lean, so he's worked hard in the off season to put himself in position to be successful. So.
Did he have a good attitude?
Oh yeah.
Even though he lost his job last year.
Yeah. He's had nothing. Not all those guys. They've had nothing but a great attitude. We're just moving them around. We're trying to find out. We're creating competition, and those guys understand that. I mean, that's what Coach Bradley. That's what he's been about since day one, and they understand that. Hey, competition is good for the team, and it's good for their unit, and it's good for their position, whether it's right or left corner, and it's going to make them better. So I think personally that they've accepted the challenge, and they're just saying, hey, I'm just going to work hard to be the best I can be.
With no Fowler now, does that opens up the door for Leo's? Do you think you'll work Scooter there at all in camp just to get him some pass rush?
Well, I think today he works some pass rush stuff, and he does. He had 5 sacks last year, so he has some pass rush ability. And there's, he's definitely going to work with Coach Wash on 3rd down, some nickel stuff.
What's been your initial impressions of Audrey on the field and in meetings and stuff like that?
He's he's strong. Strong, and just a great guy out on the field. and seemed to catch on really quick and did a great job, in the first 3 days. So, very pleased with him.
How is he different than Red from now that you've gotten a chance to sort of see him out there a little bit?
Well, I think that one thing that that Jared could give us too is on third down, he could go inside and he could rush it, on third down in nickel situations. So that's something right there that, helps us.
How's your defense after 4 practices this year compared to last year?
You know what? I hope you guys don't say but these guys. I mean, we're really excited about the attitude and the energy and the where we're at mentally. And I mean, I don't know how long you guys are out at practice. Believe it or not, I don't pay much attention to you at practice. But if you watch it, I think that, I mean, we're really excited. We think they're playing fast. And when you get to a position as a defensive unit where everybody on the defensive unit feels like even if they do something wrong, they're playing fast, I think that's a big plus. They're not worried about what has happened and that type of stuff. And I think, we're getting much better at that.
Is that
Bob, you guys start working on this defense. You guys have been working on this defense for a few years. Do you finally have like the personnel you think that fits it, what you guys want to do?
Yeah,
Is that why you feel like they're playing fast?
we're extremely pleased with our personnel, and our younger guys have grown up, and the competition is obviously helps us, as I mentioned earlier. But these guys are just doing a fantastic job of. I mean, that's a big emphasis of ours. We want to make sure we play fast and get our hands on balls and punch the balls out and create takeaways.
How much is that? It's their third year.
A lot of it. A lot of it's third year. I mean, a lot of it, the guys have grown up. Some guys that are new in the system, like Jared and Devon House and Dan Scooter, they've done a good job of catching on, but they're veterans, so it was easier for them. The younger guys, though, are catching up to the veterans, which is the cool thing.
With Marks and Miller out, have there been defensive linemen that have kind of stepped up in their absence and kind of stood out to you?
Well, right now, I mean, they're all. I think Ziggy Hood is working really, really well, and Andre Branch has done an excellent job out there, and so there's been a lot of guys that have done good and working hard. But as you said, it gives guys an opportunity to step up. I know there's somebody that I'm missing on the D-line that was working, really doing a good job.
Is it tough with Marks and Miller, the guys that kind of lead that unit out? Is it tough with all the young guys in the locker room? Is it kind of tough for you to teach the guys how to work?
We hadn't slowed down our teaching. We don't want to slow down the progress of our veterans that have been here. We're saying, hey, we have extra meetings with the younger guys that are rookies. We're allowed to meet with them more, so we want to get them up to speed. And if we have to, we'll back up a little bit as far as when they're in there, as far as the things we do. But our vets, we got to go. We got to roll. We got to move on.